Hey guys, welcome to the SimRacingPaddock. I'm William Marsh, and on this Wednesday morning, we are going to be doing some driving in Automobilista. So, one of the nice things with AMS is that they have one of the widest varieties of first-party Formula One-esque cars. So, for example, they have a car covering the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and then I think 3 cars covering the 2010s. So I wanted to do this sort of video slash live stream covering the different eras and sort of the mentality in driving those classic cars versus what we have nowadays. So I think this is going to be a fun stream. So buckle up, guys. It's going to be fun. So fun fact, if you guys are looking to do streaming and things like this, then keep in mind, sometimes things like that will happen. But also, for ISI Motor 2 titles, I have found that use display capture if you're using OBS. If you use game capture, I've had some weird things happen. So keep that in mind. So let's try firing this up. Hello, Harry. How are you today? Please don't crash on me again. Come on. Here we go. There we go. Looks like it's starting up. Yes, it is. Bingo. So also note, I don't have an H pattern shifter, but I am going to be using the Heusinkveld sequential with the clutch for older cars like the Formula Vintage, which we are going to be starting off on. So we're going to do the Formula Vintage. And for those of you who drove titles such as Grand Prix Legends, we are going to be going to a track that might be familiar for you. Johannesburg, also known as Kyalami. It was the host of the South African Grand Prix, which I believe kicked off the classic Formula One seasons. So it's cool to have these. But it's funny because you can notice the fake names. Like instead of Cooper, it's Copper. Hawk is Eagle. Kiwi is Kiwi McLaren? I think Bruce McLaren. Maybe. Miatra is Matra. Milano is Ferrari, and so on. So these aren't exact copies, but they are truly inspired. So you'll notice also that these are different. So the Ferrari, you can see it is 12-cylinder, or so it's a V12. I believe BRG is 8 as well. But like the Cooper, that is a V8. So these are simulated differently. So hold on. I'm looking to see if I can find the Lotus. Here's the Lotus, I think. Yeah, V8, green. Let's go with that. So based off of the Lotus 67, we're going to do a test day. And great, I am doing pretty well. How about yourself? So this car generates 379 horsepower at 9,400 RPM, 217 foot-pound of torque. Yeah, I just Delta Alpha. Yeah, I heard, I think it was like a few days ago, it was the 50th anniversary of Jim Clark passing. So truly a great driver, one of the best in F1. So let me just check this shifter real quick. Change the mapping. So, Automobilista, in my opinion, is one of the better titles for direct drive wheels. Except we need to... We'll do 25% strength. I think that'll be good. We'll need to adjust the field of view because I had it set for triples. So let's move the field of view back. I think 45 will work. Let's adjust the seat. That'll work. Where's Jim Clark's hometown again? Oh, wait. Because I had to reconfigure my devices, in all the different sims, my pedals got unmapped. So, it went from Joy 3 to Joy 5. So, go figure. So, I had to remap that real quick. Let's do ignition real quick. There's a chance we might stall it. Scotland, okay. Hold on a sec. Need to check something. Another downside, I'll talk about it in my review of the Open Sim Wheel. I think that with how Open Sim Wheels work right now, it has issues with automatically adjusting degrees of rotation. So you actually need to adjust it in SimiCube, which is similar to how it was back in the day with older wheels, but it's kind of unfortunate. So you have to analyze and see what degree of rotation it is. So we're going to look in the car settings and 540 degrees of rotation. Let's adjust that in SimuCube. So here's SimuCube. We enter 540 degrees of rotation. And then save the settings, make it permanent for now. Can move that aside. And we are good. Thoughts on the solo trailer. So after watching the solo trailer, I'm feeling better about it than I was before. I think part of it is we gotta be accepting that this is going to be a reality of Star Wars now. So this is a reality of Star Wars where we are going to be seeing these new anthology films. And I think that realistically, there is potential in it. I think if Alden Ehrenreich, if he has good chemistry with Chewbacca, I think we could forgive that. If he has that personality, that roguish charm that Harrison Ford has, if he has that charm, then I think it could go well. I'm excited to see how Woody Harrelson is going to be implemented. Emilia Clarke, great actress, so we'll see if she fits in well. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. Of course, Brian and I were going to likely try to see it day one. But yeah, it's, review on the OSW. I am looking to try to have that in the next 2 weeks. Maybe next week, depending on time. But also, I'm going to be going to San Jose next week for a day. And that will also throw a wrench in the works a bit. But I want to get my OSW review out soon. But also, I need to do my review on a couple other things. But yeah, I want to get my review on this OSW out before I get the Simplicity SW7C. So let's talk about this car. This is an interesting car. Really brings back fond memories of driving in Grand Prix Legends and me wrecking all the time. But yeah, this car, you can see, very tail happy. But it's controllable. You could see that big slide through turn 1. But you need to be pretty smooth, but also assertive with this car. It's softer suspension. It's soft suspension, almost no downforce. In some instances, you'll feel the steering get light. But this is a fun car. Controllable. I think people who did drive Grand Prix Legends, they'll feel it is reminiscent. But this is easily more controllable. And I think this might be more authentic than Grand Prix Legends due to advancements in like tire modeling and force feedback. Because I think Grand Prix Legends was a little too floaty. It was a little too floaty. You didn't really feel too connected to the road. But at the time, it was truly an incredible sim. And it still is. It still is an incredible title. But compared to realism nowadays, I think this is better. Granted, I've never driven a classic car like this. Sometime I'd love to get the opportunity. I know that there are like classic races at Sonoma Raceway. Whoops. That was close. So there are a lot of these cars that are actually fielded at Sonoma Raceway. So like these. So I wonder if I could sweet talk my way into one. But yeah, this is truly incredible. But yeah, feel the rear end step out under braking. The weight transfer to the front. Weight transfer to the rear under acceleration. Truly an awesome car. Not going to the Long Beach races, unfortunately. Are those this weekend? Are those this weekend? But yeah, it is a little bit far for me. That's the unfortunate thing, because Long Beach is around 9 hours away, give or take, with traffic. So give or take with traffic, Long Beach is around 9 hours away. I would love to go down. I would really love to, but 9 hours of driving, and then spending money for that, or the ticket to the event. I could stay with family because they're in Huntington Beach, but realistically, it isn't in the cards this time around. But I will likely go to the Sonoma Grand Prix. That I have been going most of the years. But yeah, I enjoy the Sonoma one. But yeah, also because I'm going to the Sharks playoff game 4. I'm more excited for that right now personally than the Long Beach Grand Prix. But yeah, so this car's a lot of fun. But now I want to try the V12 version. So a V12 version of this car. Yes, Delta Alpha. I am from Sonoma County. So I am about, how far is it? 40 minutes north of San Francisco, roughly. So that was the 67 V8 powered car. Let's go to the Milano, aka the Not Ferrari. This is a V12 powered car, and see how this is a little bit different. 1,500 miles away, dang. So I want to do the same track, so same condition. Looks like this one has a little less torque. Near Tiburon. So you're about 25 minutes away? Oh, speaking of Sharks. Thank you, Juan Moreno, for subscribing. Or Moreno, however you pronounce your last name. Long Beach is my favorite circuit in Project Cars 2. It really is. I think it's done really well. It's a shame that the other tracks aren't performed to that standard. That's what I find a bit upsetting. So I can feel already this car's a little heavier. But yeah, I used to work, or Delta, I used to work for like 2 months over at that cheesecake factory near Tiburon.
Clear.
Smoother sounding engine. So I think it's just smoother sound samples. But yeah, so I think off the throttle, it's more inclined to oversteer on the brakes, for example. Whoa, 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 whoa. Fudge. I have invulnerability on, I think. But yeah, and then, so on the brakes, more inclined to oversteer. And then if you're not oversteering already, if you're oversteering already, I should say, the throttle will exasperate.
Still there. Clear right.
But it feels like at times it's understeery. So let's see how this goes. Powerful car. So yeah, high speed. You can see it's dancing on the track. It's almost generating lift. And then you feel the steering get heavier as you go into the corner. It's a fun handling car. Might be able to stay in third there. Hello, Teddy. How's it going? Ooh. Yeah, Todd, the DRM series can get so freaking addictive. Those cars have crazy personalities and are a lot of fun. It's unfortunate the Assetto Corsa version didn't really capture that essence in the same way as other titles, but it's still a decent mod. But it's a lot of those tiny nitpicks that I have issues with. For each car, it seems like the interior camera is off. It's off center, so you have to either move it to the left or move it to the right and center the camera. That's something that should have been done in QA. But it's an easy fix, but it's just upsetting that they didn't do that. I'm hoping that sound issues I had are just like a release glitch or something and can be fixed in a later version. But just kind of upsetting, if you ask me. But, okay, so comparison between this and the V8, now that we have some heat in the tires. This feels like it's more apt to jump out. But somehow, the V8 feels a little more agile. I think it's because it's lighter weight, but with the way this car handles all that power, it feels like this is more willing to step out under the throttle, and the V8 is a little better handling in the turns, likely because it's a little lighter. You can see that skid mark from where I drifted last lap. Both these cars are quite controllable, but I think that's a V8 powered car in front of me, and you can see it's pulling away in the corner. Are there good races in Automobilista? The AI is very solid. I don't know about like solid online racing in Automobilista outside of leagues. I think pickup racing in AMS is all but dead, unfortunately. But I bet you could find a good league that races in AMS and have a great time. So let's jump a little more forward in time and see when they discovered wings, I think. So that's a Formula Vintage from 1967. Then they have the 1969 version. So 69, you have wings now. And let's see. So it looks like a lot of them. Did they all switch to V12? No, here's a V8. But yeah, okay, so there's one V8. Norfolk, that was Lotus. So we'll try Lotus again, but let's change the track around. Let's go Montreal. Montreal Classic. They didn't race at Montreal back then, I think. But we'll fudge it a bit. We'll do the 1988 version of Montreal. Should be interesting. So again, this has V8, 383 horsepower, 220 foot-pounds at about 9,000 RPM each. 1312 pounds. So I think that's a hair over half a ton. Or it's because a ton is 2,000 pounds. So that's like 60% of a ton. Similar engine sound. So the wings should make a difference. Because actually will provide downforce now. In some way.
On your right, clear. Pit exit looks good. Watch out, yellow flag. Yellow flag.
Whoa, okay, that was pretty oversteery. Cold tires. Need to get some heat in these puppies. I love the sound of this Ford Cosworth V8 engine. In my opinion, ISI motor titles have some of the best sounds. The engine, I guess, just supports the best, so ISI motor titles like Automobilista and Race Room have some incredible sounds, but also it is dependent on the sound samples. You can have crud sound, but yeah. A good sound engine is not going to make up for poor sound samples. We'll put it that way. So this hairpin is further out than in the modern Montreal. Have to get used to that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank goodness I have invulnerability on, or else we'd be dead. So this is a faster chicane. Yeah, they throw it out there. The AI, they're nuts. All right, Toddy, or Teddy, you have a great day, man.
Watch your left. All clear.
So I guess I accidentally set the opponents up wrong. So it's all the non-winged version, I guess. Whoops. But I can tell this wing does add an extra bit of downforce on at the high speed portions. at low speed parts, there aren't really ground effects in these cars, so it's still very, very reliant on mechanical grip, which still these cars have a bit of. Nowhere near the level of, say, the late 70s. But ease into the corner, ride it out. I could just imagine that would be very understeery right there. But with this wing, it does help. Not doing a good example of showing how this is faster, though. But you can tell this car is a little more precise. Oh, now we're posting session best. Little lockup in the right front. We're all right, though. Carried a lot more speed there. We're going to likely drag the brake through this our left-hander. Little aggressive there. Looks like it's paying off, though. Fun car. Challenge, though.
Right side.
So let's jump forward a few more years. Let's jump forward to the 70s. Hold on a sec. Huh, John. That's unusual. You might need to contact support, I guess. I haven't heard of an issue like that. So, we're jumping forward to the 70s. And this is based off of the Copersucar Fittipaldi. So when Emerson Fittipaldi left McLaren to join his family team. So we are going to be testing that out. Hey TJ, I am doing well, just reliving some classic eras in Formula 1. And we'll go again with this 80s Montreal and see how this compares to an late 60s, very early 70s car. Because what's interesting in the day of Formula 1 back then was that you didn't really have a new car every year. Sometimes the same car would evolve a little bit because there was like the Lotus 49, and then I think they did the Lotus 49C a couple years later. And sometimes they would mix the cars together. So it wasn't nearly as cut and dry as it is nowadays. But yeah, for example, I think it was like, I want to say the Ferrari 312T ran from 1974 to,
Right side.
I want to say all the way to like 1979 or 80.
Watch your
Crazy
right.
long run
All
for that
clear.
car.
Yellow flag. Clear.
So you can tell this is a similar engine, but they just were able to squeeze out quite a few more revs. So it screams just a bit more in a great way. Great sound. Whoops, little scrub. Almost up to 11,000 RPM. I always like the sound of the lower displacement V8s more than higher displacement, personally. I know that might almost come off blasphemous as an American. It's usually power, muscle, grunt. But I just like the sound of these a little more. And also even like look at some of the newer muscle cars that have somewhat lower displacement in some ways, but sounds really good. Whoa! Whoops.
Yellow flag.
Did not balance the car properly into that corner. The danger of downforce. Early downforce especially.
Watch your right.
It wasn't
Clear
really
right.
made into a science, so it could be easy to just lose it. Especially with older tires. Once you lose that mechanical grip, you are kind of screwed. Hold on. I accidentally scraped it with my arm, the mic. At least we had those big fat tires on the rear. Allows you to put down the power. But you got small tires on the front, which makes it a challenge. Turn in. Here's where we spun last lap coming up to. So we got to ease it this time. Gently lift. There we go. We could likely push a little harder. Learning where we can push, where we have to lift off a bit. Montreal is such a fun track though, but driving this version compared to the modern, so confusing in some ways, because it's close enough to feel familiar, different enough to be slightly jarring. JMT, I have not yet.
Watch your right. On your right. Still there. All clear.
Whoops.
On your right. Clear right.
Okay, now let's start going to some of the big guns. So we just went from the Formula Retro. Now we're moving up to the Formula Classic. Based off of the McLaren, I think it's the MP44, if I remember correctly. Or it's one of the McLarens, so yeah. But it was Senna's McLaren. Let's see if I can find that car. But also, this could have been where Automobilista had gotten first hit with the copyright claims too. So we might not have the actual knockoff livery, unfortunately. So we'll just find a cool one. Oh yeah, this likely was the knockoff one because it's the same scheme, just yellow instead of white. So let's go with that. And because Senna, let's go to, where is it? To Brazil, the Brazilian Grand Prix circuit. So, Interlagos, there we go. And I'm going to do modern for the heck of it. I don't know why I was struggling against the AI. But yeah, JMT, I'll take a look soon. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for it. So this is a twin-turbo V6, I believe. I'm going to adjust the degrees of rotation, though. We need to go into the garage and do that. So garage, let's see if we can change it. Okay, we can change it to 450. So hold on. 450. And there we go. We just degrees of rotation to 450. That's 450. Boost. Leave the pits. And right now it's the calm before the storm. Kind of a tame car when you're using about 40% throttle, but then you're going fast. And think about it, in this era, it's just insane. This was the era of Group C, and still this is the craziest car out there. Or maybe one of the craziest. I know that's debate. So what are your thoughts, guys? Debate topic right now. Group C or late 80s Formula One? What did you prefer? Little scraping. Well, JMT, I wasn't alive either, so that doesn't mean you can't have an opinion. Chris, I thought the MP4-4 had the twin-turbo V6. And then the MP4-8 had the V12, I thought. Or something like that. But there was the McLaren that was like a twin-turbo. Or maybe not twin-turbo, but a turbo V6 or something like that. Little oversteer there. Could feel the turbo lull a bit, and then on the straight it just totally unleashed. One of the things I love in Automobilista 2 is that they actually now have modeled turbo. As mentioned in my DRM video, the original R-Factor ISI Motor 2 did not have support for turbo modeling. So developers had to sort of cheat that in. But Automobilista, they made a modification to the source code of the engine, which allows actual authentic turbo modeling. So that is a great thing and really works well. Whoa! We're in the grass.
Caution.
I just realized I had auto clutch turned on the entire time. So I want to check something real quick. So engine, boost pressure. We were only at 90%, I think. We can add more boost. So let's do that. Why not? Yeah, I thought it was the 4.4. So let's turn off auto clutch. Jacropegua. Yeah, it could have been. So yeah, that's why I had auto clutch on, because I can stall it at times. Richard, this is such a fun sim. And if you're not a VR snob, if you're willing to drive on a monitor, this is one of the best sims out there. One of the best bang for bucks by far.
Watch for traffic as you exit the pit road. Faster car approaching.
Okay, this, yeah, even though it's only 0.1 bar that we added, I think, we can feel it. This is, in some ways, a genuinely scary car. Whoa, Nelly. Could someone just Google it and let it be the end of that? So this, in real life, was an H-shifter car, Danon. But I have the Heusinkveld sequential shifter set up, but I am heel and towing to try to be at least somewhat authentic. I don't have the H-shifter set up, but yeah, so this was an H-shifter car in real life, but I'm just using the sequential. Well, Richard, I hope you are enjoying the PC side. A lot of great content to offer. I'll give it a try sometime, Skywilk. Thanks for the recommendation. A little over eager on the curbs. Washed out a bit under me. You can just see it's carrying more speed now. Freaking love this setup. It just feels right, for lack of a better term. Even though I'm using the wrong shifter technically. Little lock up there. Let the turbo boost! Oh man, this is fast. It's mind-numbingly fast for an old car like this. Whoa, that was oversteer. I should not have shifted into first there. Come on. Little grass there. And across the line. This car is so much fun. And this was originally available on R Factor 1 as, I think it was like the Formula Risa. Great car. It is a blast.
Watch your left. All clear.
Just the feeling of driving this car and pushing at that limit. It'll put a smile to your face. So now we're going to move our way up into the 90s with some truly crazy cars. So that was the V6. I think next up is the V12. Yes, the Formula V12. So this had, I think it was a sequential shifter. So what track should we do here? Imola. Yeah, I think so. Let's go with this one. Or no. Which version? Dilemma, so many different versions. 88 would have been what they raced, though. So let's go with that. So this is like alternate reality if Senna hadn't died at Imola. And they continued racing there, I guess. So yeah, 6-speed semi-auto. I think they still use the stick though. I think. But guys, you might want to turn up the volume. This car sounds good. So yeah, we need to change to the 450 degrees of rotation though. So we'll change that real quick. Listen to that sound though. Yeah, buddy. The Brit Pack is, in my opinion, a great content. Really, Brands Hatch is one of my favorite tracks, but those cars, they're excellent cars, ones that you usually don't find in other sims. Oh, they did race it. I thought they only raced for like 2 years. Or no, they raced until like 04, right? Didn't they race there until like 03, 04? Listen to that sound! I've never driven at this configuration though. Oh wow, that chicane, that's definitely different.
Watch out, yellow flag.
One of the downsides of this being realistic, if you stall the car here, you're doomed. You have to go back to the pits. So, just for our sake, I'm turning on auto clutch.
Pit exit is clear.
I think it got tracks mixed up. It was after Nicky Lauda's crash that the Nordschleife was stopped being used, and that's what I was thinking of. It was after some big crash, it was a track that stopped being used. But this sound of this car is absolutely insane. So here, that chicane, totally missed my marks there. It had paddles? I'm not seeing paddles on it. Hold on. Let's take a look.
Yellow flag.
Not seeing paddles on the rim. Let me look up real quick. I want to say this was the 19... Hold on. 5 Ferrari F1. So it's the 412 T2. T2 cockpit. Let's see if we can take a look at that. It looks like it might, yeah. Okay, so the 412 T2 did have paddle shifters, so I guess this is us switching over to paddles. I just looking at a couple pictures and I saw paddles. Just weird that this version, like the AMS one, didn't. Richard, yes it should. This runs on an older game engine. This runs on the game engine that the original R Factor 1 powered. So it should run it just fine. Note that this isn't the best looking title, but in my opinion, it's one of the best feeling. It's like the Millennium Falcon. Doesn't look like much, but it's got it where it counts. Woo! Stepped out a bit. Make that double apex. Drive off. You're seeing I have to make quick movements on this. Okay, that chicane is a little sharper there. Okay, I did not see that chicane. Keep that in mind. This is such a fun car, though. And then you stay wide open there. It's so different than the original Imola. Keep on wanting to lift and brake. But that high-speed section would have been absolutely insane to see in an actual race. Just those cars flying, screaming past. Thank you, 001 Sander, for subscribing. Whoa! That's why I have to be careful. This car has so much freaking power, insane amounts of torque. You breathe on the throttle wrong, you're facing the wrong way. Let's get the grass off the tires now. Oh, same mistake. I need to get one good lap here. So let's get one good hot lap now. Flat out, wide open. Bet if we made setups changes here, we could get it to 200, I bet. Later, Apex. Make that double. There we go. Roll on the throttle. Careful, we don't want to face the wrong way again. Little lock up there. There we go. This track is such a blast. Would have loved to see it back on the regular calendar. Whoa, that was close.
Yellow flag.
That was a good lap, and we're still 9th. Quick! Okay.
Caution.
That was very sudden. Had no reaction there. But yeah, funny glitch though in Automobilista and other ISI Motor titles. If you're off the grass and then you toggle the replay, the grass texture sticks on the car. But yeah, so I want to show you what happened though. But yeah, this car is such a blast. The external sounds. I'm going to shut up for a sec. Truly incredible sounds. Truly amazing. You'll see I hit the curb wrong there, and it's just like shot the car off. Let's go on board. So here it's just like boom. Nothing I could do there. Gotta love that arm effect. Yeah, it's like, this car is a beast. So now, we're switching rims. Going to the smaller. Hopefully it's a seamless transition. There we go. I just want to make sure it's working. So shift up. Yes, it is. Okay. Hello, Stuntman. How's it going? So, Formula V10. Where should we test it? I was thinking Hockenheim. I don't have much experience with Hockenheim, though, but we'll do the 2001 version. Wait, that was where he wrecked? Oh, wow. Yikes. I thought it was later in the lap, but eek. The physics in this definitely are incredible. I have some modded tracks I do. So you could take a look at those later. I downloaded a track pack. Well, that is a very dangerous corner. Wow, it's only 10:48 a.m. right now? Dang. Still early. So an interesting quirk with this car. The default setup that Ryza provided has auto shifting on. So if you go to auto shift mode, it's set to automatically upshift. You can turn that off though. Let's set to 450 degrees of rotation. We're going to need to adjust a bit. I think that's pretty solid. Pacific, yep. California. Think you can tell from my San Jose hat. And my Huntington Beach shirt.
Pit exit looks good.
V10, great sound as well. $200 miles an hour. Keep in mind those chicanes. Gives me a feel almost a bit like Le Mans. I've never really driven this configuration, unfortunately. So brake. Through the corner. Very fast. So now we're coming into the main area. This is a bit more familiar for me. Such a fast car, so much fun. Little wide. Wow, you can just see the forces shake my arms. Little lockup. If I remember correctly, Jim Clark, didn't he die in a Formula 3 race too? Or wasn't like a Formula 3 or Formula 2 race at Hockenheim? Okay, Formula 2. But at the very least, we can say he died doing what he loved. That's something where, especially in real life, racing comes with the inherent risk of death. And I think no matter what safety enhancements we do, there is always that slim chance. There's always that chance that when a driver straps into the seat, he could die. And they are willing to trade that off because it's something they love. They love the thrill. They love the rush. And I think that's one of the reasons racing is just so exciting, because they are staring death in the face, and then they'll say, "Not today, death. You're not going to take me this time." Sounded like something James Hunt would say. First love was farming. Well, I don't think many people want to die farming. I need to find a way to make these this F1 rim's grips a little more comfortable. For some reason, this F1 rim always feels a little uncomfortable in my opinion. Whoa!
Watch out, yellow flag.
Whoops. Oh, those exterior sounds, though.
Watch your left.
Whoa!
Clear. Watch your left. Clear
Okay, I
left.
guess I was a bit conservative there. Gotta scrape off the dust and grime.
Yellow flag.
I just don't know Hockenheim too well. I mean, the sheer power in this car. We're already 180, 190, 200.
On your right.
Whoops.
Hold your line. All clear.
Man, those cars are just insanely fast. Also, I think they just brake much later on the throttle earlier. I just can't get a handle.
Watch out, yellow flag.
Before I embarrass myself more, let's go to a different car and track combo that I might actually know. So something I would have loved to see between the Formula V10 and the Formula Risa would be a car covering like the 07-08 era. Because 07-08, that was when the cars were very, very aero heavy. And then 09 was when they shifted to more of a minimalist design. So I would have loved to see something like they call it the Formula V8 or something, where it was that era 07-08. But yeah, so now we go to the Formula Risa, or Risa, however you pronounce it. This is modeled after the 2012 Red Bull F1 car. Fun fact. So this was modeled after a quite dominant car. There's a mod for just about everything, but I'm just saying I would have liked to see something official. So let's go to Red Bull Ring. Even though Red Bull Ring wasn't brought in until like 2014 or so, I think. No wonder AI was so fast. 105 strength. But it's crazy. 724 horsepower, 224 foot-pounds of torque, and only 1,367 pounds. So that's about the same weight as the old F1 cars from the 60s. Jeez. Neck a little sore. So I think this one, yeah, it doesn't have the auto shift mode. Let's go up to 450. There we go. This is, my opinion, is one of the best sounding V8 Formula 1 cars. Dang, I don't know that track at all. But this sounds better than most of the other F1 cars. Even like Codemasters. This just has such an immersive sound in my opinion. I might do Brands Hatch. That would be a better one for me. But this car has such a ragged edge for grip. You don't want to cross that edge. But there's just so much grip to be had. DRS not available now. Whatever. Oh, little oversteer there. I guess this track just doesn't have DRS. Thought the DRS line in real life was here. I might have not picked... Oh, that's it, JMT. I didn't pick the 2017 version. But you can see so much power, and so much grip, and also heavy steering, because the downforce is just pushing so hard on the car. It's moments like this when I really enjoy the fact that I have a direct drive wheel. It's such a positive feeling through the wheel. So quick, so precise, but also strong, because if I remember correctly, this era of Formula 1 did not have power steering. So when you really got at high speeds, it took a lot of strength to steer. I'm only at 30% strength with this. A lot of open wheel cars did not have power steering. That's what I heard. And I think, like, modern IndyCar, they don't have power steering, if I remember correctly. So that's something we take for granted as sim racers, I think. Some of those cars don't have power steering, so it's insane to drive. Oh, little wide. Oh, that was slideways a bit. But just the quickness of this. You don't even really have time to think. You can imagine driving this through like the S's at Spa. That would be a challenge in itself. We gotta do Spa later. Or not Spa. Suzuka. That's what I was thinking of. So throw it in. Get the tires to stick. Ah. Okay, rest my hands for a minute while we switch to the next car. This thing is insane. So we'll do 2014 at Brands Hatch. Formula Extreme. Actually, it's 2015 spec. This car is a beast too. So that is Brands Hatch Grand Prix. Whew. 885 horsepower and 421 foot-pounds of torque. So wait, this engine has double the torque at lower RPMs. I think because of the turbo. So this was like the first car with the the turbocharged hybrid, the 8-speed transmission. So this generation of car. But still, crazy power numbers. And a little heavier. So hold on. I'm going to turn down the force feedback a hair. 20% looks, or 19-20% looks weak, but it is strong. Trust me, guys. You're seeing how I'm looking. So, exit the monitor. We'll bring us up to 450 again. And we'll do 21-degree lock. That should be fine. This is a very quiet beast, but it is still a beast. You'll see. So this is lighter steering on the straight. Or in that low speed.
All clear. Go, go, go.
You can see this is fast. Zoom, zoom. Whoa. Well, it's interesting because with the way the arrow's set up in this car, you do have to be careful. You can't be too abrupt with your movements, or else you might end up spinning or washing out. Challenging car. Personally, I prefer the older eras, but... Oh!
Watch out, yellow flag. The caution flag is out.
Gotta take it easy, get some heat in these tires, I guess. There we go, car's starting to come into itself. It's interesting because the way the gears are set up for this car, I keep on needing to be in one gear higher than I want to be in, because this car has much more low-end torque than other cars. So to get full use out of the power band.
Yellow flag.
All right, Jay Alba, you have a good night, man. So after this, we'll move to the Formula Ultimate, which is based on 2017/18. Seems like I'm struggling a lot at turn 1 at this circuit. which I don't think in general I've had a good handle on. Seems like the car just wants to lock up.
Yellow flag.
Well, yeah, let's go to the ultimate. So that's the Formula Extreme, Formula Ultimate, refined design, evolution more than like anything. So similar car. But let's go to, I believe it's called Kansai 2017 Grand Prix. Let's go with that. 86% strength. Why not? Make it actually where we might be able to put similar times on. So it is 11:10 right now. Soon I'll get some lunch, I think. So the GP versions of these tracks, tire compound restrictions and DRS zones. Okay. Okay, don't be daft. Thanks for that input. So let's go with this. And we have the Halo. I had it on before. This is too high, though. I think. Realistically, the car would be more like this. So we can get our opinion on the Halo now. Yay. So, discussion topic, guys. What are your thoughts on the Halo? Personally, I hate it. Hold on. I hate the Halo. I think there are just far better solutions that could have been used. So, I understand you want safety ASAP, but at the same time, it's just like, is the Halo the actual solution? For example, I cannot see that car in front of me right now.
Pit exit looks good.
Looks like a flip-flop. That it does. Makes you want to stick your foot in it. Hey, shrink one down, put your foot in it, and you got a flip-flop roller skate. The guy in front of me has no rear wing. Okay. Interesting. But for or if you drive this in virtual reality,
Right.
it's easier.
Clear.
If you drive it in VR, it's easier to drive with a Halo. But with this, it's like, ah. Wait, one of the teams got a flip-flop sponsor? That is hilarious. That is hilarious, and I gotta give them props on that. That is awesome. So there's DRS. McLaren has one of the better PR teams in Formula 1, I think. Because they had like the tuned animated series, which I actually really enjoyed that series. It's a shame they got rid of it, but yeah, the McLaren tuned, that was pretty clever, pretty funny. Then say what you might, but World's Fastest Gamer, clever concept. Maybe that's why they're doing so well right now this season. Because they're actually self-aware of themselves. Well, I mean, I can see theoretically how you could get comfortable with this. But at the same time, it's just, I think it would make passing more difficult. And there's still the chance for small items to fly in. That's one of the concerns. I mean, sure, it'll stop tires and major debris, but smaller debris, But this car, halo aside, feels great. I like the feel of this car, even though I suck at it. Gotta be careful in that corner. You want to have a little bit of throttle there. It's neutral the car a bit. It would be great to have a DRS zone here. But then it would be kind of dangerous. Game of chicken to go into 130R and see who will like lift first. Because you'd have to hit the button there. And I could just imagine one guy tries going all out there, DRS, and boom, ends up in the wall. But this car is just feels like it sticks like glue. Just like so. Whoa!
Race control was wonders for cutting the track.
Yeah, Dan, I'm curious about that. Because that's interesting, and where, yeah, Porsche new track record with, I think it was that modified 919. And yeah, it'll likely be a technical rivalry between F1 and WEC again, which that's pretty awesome to see. Carry more speed, have a later apex. Thanks for that. Oh, Porsche left? Ah. I lose track of everyone who's coming and going. Oh my gosh, carried too much speed.
Yellow flag.
That was a little too fast and maybe a wee bit too furious. So we know who's going to win LMP1 this year, I guess. IMSA's been pretty darn exciting. Interesting cars, good racing. So let's get a good hot lap now. I think we can do that for you guys. One, two, three, four, five.
The caution flag is out.
There we go. A little oversteer there. Not good for the straight. Yeah, Alonso brought so much to Indy with the Indy 500.
Watch out, yellow flag.
Let's try this in 6. I can't hold it. This car's a beast. Whoa!
Watch the track limit. Caution.
Oh man. This car's insane. Let's watch the replay. I want to see how this lap turned out. I hate that glitch though, where it just shows the dirt on the tires no matter what. So this should be our hot lap. Well, I mean, this car is insane. It's a beast. If they did away with the halo, it'd be a great looking car too, in my opinion. But man, just that speed. It looks sped up. It legitimately looks sped up. That's how fast it's going. It's mind-boggling. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this car does at Suzuka. Because Suzuka has such a great variety of corners. It has the sweepers, it has the S's, it has the hairpin, it has the bus stop. But yeah, so kind of quick rundown of all the different cars that are F1 oriented in Automobilista. This was sort of a fun experiment, checking out these different cars. My personal favorite, I'd say, would likely be the Formula Retro. The Formula Retro was, I think, my personal favorite. And then the V8 Formula Classic. I'm a bit of a sucker for those older series and really enjoyed the feeling of mechanical grip through those. But these modern F1 cars are no joke. They are insane. But I think I'm going to call it. I might work on a video and try to get one up this maybe tomorrow. But guys, thanks for watching. This was a lot of fun. And stay tuned for future videos. But for now, for the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh. And you have a great rest of your day.